Welcome to Business Notes. I'm your host, Diane Bogino. Our guest today is Megan Grant. Megan started her career as a freelance writer and is the owner of a digital marketing agency with a focus on high quality content. Megan also teaches other professionals her method for landing clients with her program, Revenue Spark, involving a proven formula for landing high paying clients. Megan, welcome to Business Notes. I've been looking forward to this interview.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I've been watching you on YouTube and you give great advice to your audience. But what I want to ask you is, what is one of the biggest mistakes that professionals make when they're trying to land clients or grow their business?
What I've noticed is that because we're all so laser focused on growth and making more money, which is great, we tend to make it all about us though, when really it needs to be about the client or the customer. And it's funny, I was just talking to my students about this yesterday. The reason for that is because our clients and our customers don't care about how much money we make. They care about the results that they get. So that's what we have to care about. So if you prioritize what your clients want, then the money follows as kind of a natural byproduct.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So how about freelancers and consultants? What's something they can do right now to have success in landing clients?
I think one piece of advice I would give them is to kind of get out of that mindset that landing clients is purely a numbers game. A lot of people that I talk to and, people that come to me asking for help, they say, I've sent hundreds of cold emails or I've made hundreds of cold calls and I'm not landing any clients. And it's because they were probably taught that it's a numbers game. And it is partly, but when you start sacrificing quality for the sake of numbers, it doesn't matter how many emails you send or how many phone calls you make. If the quality isn't there, then it's just not going to work.
Right. And in some of your videos, this is a good segue to this question. You talk about cold and warm emails, and I think that you have done both. Could you tell us the difference and why one is more effective than the other?
Yeah, absolutely. So cold emailing, when a lead is cold, it means you have no relationship with them. So you're total strangers. So cold emailing is reaching out to someone you've never spoken to before. When a lead is warm, that means that some sort of relationship has been established in some capacity. So that's what warm emailing is. And I have done both. I started with cold emailing and it does work if you do it the right way. But comparing the two, cold emailing is a little more of a numbers game than warm emailing. And I didn't want to have to send tons and tons of emails just to close a single client. So that's when I started shifting towards warm emailing, where I could establish a relationship elsewhere online. In my case, I use LinkedIn, and then we go to email. And that made such a huge difference in my conversion rates that I just never went back to cold emailing.
So you're able to establish a relationship online on LinkedIn first before you start sending emails, because a lot of people wonder about if that's even possible.
Yeah, it makes me laugh a little because, sometimes I get a little pushback from people. They say, LinkedIn is dead. No one uses LinkedIn. Like, they use LinkedIn. It's just a matter of establishing that relationship in a way that's very authentic and human. If you reach out to someone on LinkedIn and it's obvious that all you're trying to do is sell, they're not going to be receptive. No one wants to be sold to. But if you approach it with the mindset of, hey, you have a problem and I have a solution, they're going to listen.
So you've taken your own business to 5 figures in revenue. And what would you say has been the most important factor in your success?
I would say that there are 3 that I focus on every single day. The first is sales. So what we're talking about here with warm emailing and sourcing new leads, if you want to grow, you have to know sales. There's no way around it. The second is quality control. Sales brings the clients in, But the reason my clients stay with me for years and years is because I'm providing a good service. So you have to care about being really good at what you do. And I would say the third thing, I call it social proof. What I mean is testimonials, reviews, doing such a good job for people that they're willing to speak on your behalf and vouch for you, because what other people say about you is way more powerful than what you could ever say about yourself.
Yeah, you have got some great testimonials. I would urge your audience to go through and look at, I think most of them are on your Facebook
Mm,
page, and you have some really, really good testimonials from your clients. And I think that speaks volumes, like you said.
thank
So,
you.
what kind of a role do you think mindset or mentality plays in your business?
I think it's everything. I think that's where everything starts. In fact, that's the first thing I tackle with my students, and it's because if you're not in the right place up here, everything else is kind of a moot point. Um, and it's funny, this was a huge obstacle that I had to overcome because I didn't realize that a lot of limitations that I was facing in growing my own business, I was I was putting them up myself. So, every time I said in the past, like, oh, that client would never pay me that much money, or I could never make 5 figures a month. Okay. Like I had already decided I couldn't and I didn't. And it's not until your mind gets around it that you can, like, you can, sidestep all those hurdles and you could do whatever you want.
What was the epiphany you had that made you change that mindset?
There was no single turning point where I like woke up and I thought, oh, I gotta change. It was a very slow process of kind of undoing a lot of negative thoughts I had about money and making money. And, for the longest time in the beginning of my career, uh, this was when I was still just freelance writing and I was making so little money. And I had just kind of accepted that that's how it was. And over the years, I was like, okay, this isn't enough money. I'm not happy with this work. It's not good enough. So what do? You either stay where you are or you change directions and you do something else. So you have a choice, but you have to get it through your head first before you can take action.
That's an excellent point you make, that we do have a choice, and we do have to make choices like getting rid of the negative self-talk. And I think women are worse at this than men. That mindset about money and making money and that
Yeah.
you're worth it. Absolutely. Good
Yeah.
message. So what advice would you give to someone who's just starting out?
Um, I think in our digital age where a lot of people want quick results, they want to be like an overnight hit, I would say be obsessed with quality because we try to get everything so quickly these days. And we have all these people promising us overnight success if we just pay for YouTube ads or, go viral on TikTok or whatever, fill in the blank. And that does happen to some people, but they're the exception to the rule. Really, there's no way around quality. Like, if you want to be successful in business, you have to be good at what you do. So you have to care about providing a good service. You have to care about people. You have to care about relationships. And I think that's another one of the reasons why my clients stay with me for so long, because they trust me. And they know I keep my word. And there's no way to fake that. You just have to do it.
That's for sure. So do you have a favorite marketing strategy that you really, really like?
For landing clients
Mhm.
or just in general.
In general, either one.
Um, I'm big on creating content and providing free value. So that's why, I think we connected on YouTube, like you mentioned. I love creating YouTube videos. I love writing blogs for my website, sending emails out to my list. Um, you have to give people an opportunity to get to know you and like you and trust you before you can ask them for anything in return. So that's why I'm publishing free content every week. And I know I talk to some business owners and they're like, oh, no, we don't want to give it away for free. You're not giving away everything, but you have to give away a little bit because until you do, you're just a stranger behind the internet, behind your computer.
That's true.
Um, So that's a huge part of my marketing.
Okay. Um, Tell us a little bit about your Spark program.
Yeah. So after figuring out this process of LinkedIn and warm emailing, and it's gotten me such consistent results over the years, I bottled it up and put it into a program online. And so now I teach other professionals how to land clients. And any client-based business can benefit from this. And it's just a very laser focused method that takes them through the entire process, from sourcing leads all the way up to sending their proposal. And there's also the coaching aspect of it. When they enroll, it's not just, I don't just give them the course and then go, okay, good luck. I work with them directly, which I love. And I think it's beneficial for them to have a human being to talk to. So that's the goal. It's to help people kind of take their business to the next step, more financial security, financial freedom, and finally build a business on their terms.
Right. And the correct name is Revenue Spark, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And people can find that on your Facebook page and on LinkedIn, correct?
It's all over my social media, or they can just go to my website, which is megangrant.net, and there's a page for that as well.
Okay.
They can find my blog there. They can learn a little more about me if we haven't met yet, and then also there's information on my programs.
Okay, great. Well, Megan, you are probably the epitome of what a good business person should be: honest, forthright, tell it like it is. I noticed somebody said you don't give any BS on your in your program or the advice you give, and they appreciated that a great deal. And I appreciate you being on the show today.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me here, and it was great talking.
Thanks. Thank you for watching Business Notes. We've been speaking with Megan Grant, the owner of a digital marketing agency and founder of Revenue Spark. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, bringing you business ideas you can bank on.